Hey everybody, welcome to Adventures with Peps. Today, if I can get this in camera, we are painting some scatter terrain. So let's clear off the desk, dive on in to this week's terrain video. Ooh, exciting. And away we go. So, oh, that's a terrible prime job. That one's a bit better, but who cares? 2 plastic skips. That's what we call them in the UK, but I guess garbage bins, whatever you want to call them. These are from Marvel Crisis Protocol. They're made of plastic, quick glue job. They got like a bulldog motif on the front and a metal swing roof. The ones I have at work technically are plastic, but I'm going to make mine look like metal. It's a bit more fun. And to achieve that, I'm using canoptic alloy. I think that's what it's called. I'm just going to give it a very rough overcoat. I'm going to work my way across the top on both pieces, around the side, and I'm just going to hit a few areas, mainly edges. In my brain, I'm hoping that when I do the red base coat that I'm going to hit them with, I'll miss some areas and it will look like damage, rust, that kind of thing. So as you can see, I worked my way around. Anywhere that I think it's going to be heavily touched either by hands or machines, I'm just swiping down. Very heavy, very messy at this stage. This isn't a delicate little paint job. I'm going to use one brush for pretty much everything. You'll get the idea as we're going along. With the silver-esque colour down, I then grab the Morphine Brown. And once again, I'm just going to pick some areas of the silver. I'm going to blob this on. This is going to give maybe a rust effect later on. Now, I have the finished pieces in my hand. And for the most part, I paint over probably 80% of all this chipping that I've done. And I don't mind. I'm not worried about it. It's meant to look rough. It's meant to look rough and ready. These are terrain pieces that you can just throw onto the board. They're line of sight blocking in Judge Dredd for definite because they're pretty tall. They come to about shoulder height of a Warlord Games model. Any of the Star Wars figures are roughly the same size. I would say the Marvel Crisis heroes, for the most part, these cover a good chunk of them. I still haven't read the rules for Marvel Crisis, so I don't actually know how stuff works. I think this is maybe a size 1 or size 2. I think it's size 2 because they had a 2 on the bottom. I think that's what it represents. What that means, I'm not entirely sure. But I've been using these in games of Judge Dredd, and I've been very disappointed with myself because they're grey. So I'm quite happy to be getting some paint down on these finally. I then grab Screamer Pink, and that is going to be the base coat on this. So this is probably going to take 2 coats as I'm going straight over black. I'm going to this first coat, I'm going to work my way around, make sure I find the silver, work out my edges. As you can see, it's pretty thin. Maybe I watered it down a little bit too much. It's definitely going to take 2 coats here. I'm just going to work my way around. This is not pretty. It's that stage where it's going to look rough. Hey, you've made it this far through the video. Go down, hit like, hit subscribe. I love you very much. And if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, please do. It's $2 a month. It's really helpful. And I'll make you a character in Sector 102. Please come join me. Boy! Right, with 2 coats of the Screamer Pink down, we move on to the Evil Sun Red. Now, I used this recently on my superhero character, and I loved the color, so I've actually come back to it. I learned my lesson. I watered the pink down way too much, so I've left this one a bit heavier. But maybe I've gone too heavy this time around. Either way, we'll work it out as we're going around. I'm gonna carve out the edges, try and make this as neat as possible. I'm not too worried if streaks show through. It's gonna look battered, beaten up, worn. Doesn't really matter. As you can see, this is probably gonna also take 2 coats. For some reason, these reds aren't as pigment heavy as I thought they were gonna be. My brain, I thought these were going to go on super easy. Now I've realized that I've got to do 2 coats anyway. I'm going to be a bit more rough and ready. Just swiping down, kind of like a very heavy overbrush. And we will catch up in a minute because this is going to take a while with the 2 of them. You can see the idea that I got going on. I'm just going to be swiping down anything that looks a bit rough and ready. It really doesn't matter. These things have had probably trucks crashing into them, people crashing into them, people using them as washrooms. Garbage gets thrown in them, rats climbing all over them. These aren't going to be nice areas of town. They're normally found in the dirty zones of businesses and around the back of apartment buildings, so I'm not too careful with this. As you can see, I'm just working my way over it. It's drying pretty quickly because my lamps pump out a lot of heat, so luckily for me these paints are going to dry up quite nice and quick. But anyway, you get the idea. Let's skip forward. We then grab the Agrax Earthshade. This is going to dirty down these metal components that at the moment really stand out quite brightly. I'm going to start on the seams because that's where I want the heaviest part of the wash to land. And then I'm going to make sure I just absolutely cover everything. I don't want anything shown. These aren't clean, as we've mentioned. They got to look a bit worn, a bit bad. Obviously, I've done them as metal pieces. They could easily have been plastic. I could have just done them black with a grey dry brush. But I wanted to go a little bit extra with them. Maybe if I pick up another set of these, I'll just do a different colour scheme. Maybe a green body, black top. That would look pretty cool. As you can see, I'm not being careful. I'm just slapping this on. No one's going to worry about it. I'm also going to go over the body of the garbage bin because that red after the second coat came out way too bright. I need to darken it down. Need to make it look a bit rough and ready. And I just don't think that bright red is working for us here. Make sure I get this motif. It's a big chunk of it, and there you go. I just slap it down. I'm not delicate about this. This is terrain. It's not going to be the highlight feature of the gaming board. If it is, it's going to draw the eye away from the miniatures. And I don't want that. I just want something that looks good. It also looks good in the photograph. I'm going to start making backdrops, as you'll see in a minute. So let's make a little scene. So I got the kidney hut, 101 flavors. Don't know why I said 101. It clearly says 100 flavors. Then I have skip number 1. As you can see, they're still drying a little bit. But I'm very happy with how these turned out. Didn't take long, maybe 12 minutes, 15 minutes with dry time. Yeah, I'm not going to win awards with them, but you know what? They're going to look great in a photograph. So let's get the glamour shots and we'll have a look at all that and you can see the finished result. As always, I appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you in another video again soon. Cheers for watching. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and then go watch this one. This one up here. Give it a click. Bye-bye.